Hi guys, I'm Saumya and I'm back again with another video. I hope you're all well and safe and I hope you all had a great Diwali. So I make a lot of bookish content on this channel. So if you are a book lover and a reader or would like to become one, then do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon. So today's video is going to be a wrap-up video. I am going to talk about the books that I read in the month of October 2021. So let's start. The first book is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. So I am a huge admirer of Sally Rooney's writing because I feel she's a fantastic writer. I mean, her books have the power to really hold your interest. Conversations with Friends was no different for me in that regard. I mean, Sally Rooney's books explore the themes of moral ambiguity when it comes to human relations, and she also focuses on her characters who have grey personalities and who are very flawed and also very real. So this story is about a girl named Frances who is 21 years old, and she is an aspiring writer in Dublin, and she has a best friend named Bobby who also used to be her girlfriend. So Frances and Bobby come in contact with a woman named Melissa who is a journalist. Now Melissa is really rich and she's also married to an actor named Nick. So with this new acquaintance, Bobby and Frances start attending parties. They start basically going to all these big houses, and unexpectedly Frances and Nick become quite close to each other. So that is what the story explores, the kind of relationship they have with each other and the impact it has on people around them. And there are other aspects as well that this particular story explores. It delves into the characters of Bobby and Melissa as well. On the whole, I found this to be an extremely engaging story. It does get toxic sometimes, the way these characters behave, but then again, that is also the reason why you get so hooked to this story. And what your opinion will be about Conversations with Friends will really depend on the kind of mindset you are in. If you are ready to be a little more liberal with the characters, you will be more forgiving. Otherwise, you will not like these characters a lot. So it really depends where you stand. For me personally, I was able to observe it from afar, and I did recognize the toxicity of these characters, but at the same time, this book did not leave me frustrated. By the time I finished it, I was only left marveling at the brilliancy with which Sally Rooney writes. The next book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So this book took a fair bit of time, but I had a great time while I was listening to its audiobook. So the story begins with a murder, and then as the story progresses, we get to know about how this murder came about. So this does not really progress like a quintessential suspense thriller, but definitely it has the quality of a thriller. The only thing is that it's not fast paced, but that was not an issue for me because there were so many other elements in this book that really held my attention. I had a wonderful time with this story. The Secret History is a story about 6 students who are studying ancient Greek in the Hampden College in New England. And this story has been narrated by a student named Richard Papin, who arrives at this university, and he is completely intrigued by these 5 students who study ancient Greek, and they stay aloof and they stay to themselves. But soon enough, Richard also becomes a part of their group, and well, that's where the story begins, and it has so many things going on. There are a lot of secrets that get revealed. The one thing that happens in this book is that it can take some time for the reader to get into it, because initially it doesn't offer a whole lot of information. Initially you are as clueless as Richard, because it's like you're just moving ahead and you don't know what the story will throw at you. So that part of the story can be a bit frustrating. One of the biggest strengths of this book is the characters that it has. So there are quite a few characters that hold your interest. So there is our narrator Richard Papin, of course, and then there are the other 5 students: Henry, Camilla, Charles, Francis and Edmund. And apart from that, we have the ancient Greek professor named Julian. Each and every character is fascinating in his or her own way. The characters and your fascination with them also forms a huge part of why you become so interested in the story. At least that was the case for me. Personally, I found Henry's character to be the most intriguing one. Next book is The Last Gift by Abdul Razak Gurnas. So I also made a review video of this book on my channel. You can check it out if you want to. Abdul Razak Gurna is also the winner of the 2021 Nobel Prize in Literature. So The Last Gift is a story of the immigrant experience, racism and the rootlessness the characters face in terms of their identity. So the story begins with Abbas having a stroke. Now Abbas is in his 60s and he is married to Mariam. Abbas and Mariam met each other in Exeter when Mariam was 17 and Abbas was 34, even though he had told her that he was 28. And well, they had eloped and they live in Norwich currently. And they have two children named Hannah and Jamal, who are both adults and making their way through life. Abbas never tells his family where he came from exactly. He does tell them that he came from East Africa, and eventually he reveals the name of the country as well, but that happens later in the book. Mariam was abandoned as an infant by her mother, and she lived from foster home to foster home until she eloped with Abbas. And Hannah is a teacher who lives with her white boyfriend Nick, whose family is definitely racist, and Jamal is a university student. So all four of these characters get their individual space in the story, but for me, Hannah's character was of the most interest because she was the most complex character according to me, and also most prone to getting triggered by the fact that they were immigrants and the fact that she really wanted to dissociate herself from all these experiences made me kind of dislike her, but at the same time I tried to empathize with her character as well. On the whole, the story definitely made me sad, and I was able to listen to the story right till the end. It did not feel like a drag to me, although I have to admit that while listening to the story, I felt a little bit detached from the experiences of these characters. It was the way the story has been written, but aside from that, I felt this was a story that definitely held my interest till the very end. And this was my first title by Abdul Razak Gurna, and I would definitely like to explore more of his work in the future. The next book is 400 Days by Chetan Bhagat. So this is the third book written by Chetan Bhagat with a duo of Keshav and Saurabh. So you don't have to read the previous two books to read this story, because this is a brand new suspense thriller by Chetan Bhagat. So Keshav is an IIT graduate and he is preparing for his civil services exams, and he also runs a detective agency called Z Detectives along with his friend Saurabh. So Keshav is contacted by Alia Arora, who wants his help in finding her 13-year-old daughter Sia, who was kidnapped 9 months ago. So her case had been investigated in the past, but without any success because Sia is still missing. So Alia approaches Keshav with a renewed sense of hope and he agrees to help her. So that is the premise of the story. I made a review video of this book on my channel and you can check it out if you want to. So if you are a fan of Chetan Bhagat books, then you can definitely go for this one, because it's a quintessential Chetan Bhagat book in terms of the way it has been written, in terms of how the story pans out, how the characters are. So yes, you can go for it. On the other hand, if you consume a lot of suspense thriller content and you have very high expectations from a book that calls itself a suspense thriller, then you can give this one a miss. The next book is The Influencer, Speed Must Have a Limit by Abhay Dev. So Aditya Gupta is an influencer, which means that he has the power to influence people and make them servile. On the surface, he is a government employee and there is nothing special about him, but in reality, he works for the Prime Minister of the country to help him negotiate deals with other world leaders and do his bidding. So one day, his wife discovers the secret, and that puts Aditya's life in danger, because Aditya is a part of a secret society called WIS, and WIS values secrecy the most, and now they want Aditya dead because his secret is out. So can Aditya dodge this danger? That is what this story is about. So the genre of this story is thriller, and honestly I found it a fairly easy book to read because I didn't find this book boring at all. Also, one thing that I liked about this story was the unpredictability of the concept, because this was a very unique concept as a story. Also, I made a separate review video of this book. If you want to check it out, you can. The link will be in the description and in the cards. So that was my October wrap up, guys. Do leave a comment telling me about the books that you read in October. I will look forward to hearing from you. That was it for today's video. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description. I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay safe.